Welcome to Morning with the Legends. I'm your host, David Hammond. And this morning we are joined by many famous people. On my first panel this morning, I'd like to welcome Sacajawea, David Beckham, Walt Disney, Johnny Appleseed, and Queen Elizabeth. Please help me welcome them. So this morning, I'd like to have you tell the audience a little about yourselves. And why don't we start by telling when and where you were born, and maybe a little about your family members. Okay, why don't we start with David Beckham.
I was born on May 2nd, 1975, London, England.
Okay, and tell me a little about your family.
I had my dad, David, my mom, Sandra, my brother, and my two sisters.
Okay, and Walt?
I was born December 5th, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois. My family members were my three brothers, Raymond, Herbert, and Roy, and my mom, Flora, and my dad, Elias.
Cool. And Johnny?
I was born September 26, 1774 in Leominster, Massachusetts. I had my dad, Nathaniel, my mom, Elizabeth, and my stepmother, Lucy Cooley, and I had a lot of brothers and sisters named Nathaniel Jr., Abner, Pearlie, Persis, Patty, Mary, Jonathan, Davis, and Sally.
Wow, a large family.
Wow.
12 people in your family? Yeah, that's a really large family. Good morning, Queen Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Can you tell me when and where you were born and a little about your family?
I was born on September 7th, 1533 in the Greenwich Palace, London, England. And my father was Henry VIII, and my mother was Anne Boleyn, and I had a half-sister named Mary, and a brother was Edward Tudor the Sixth. And yeah.
Okay. And Sacajawea.
I was born in the Bitterroot Mountains. I had a mother, brothers, sisters, my baby Palm, and my husband Charbonneau.
Okay, very good. Tell me a little about your education growing up as children, and even into your young adulthood. David?
I attended Chase Lane Primary and Manchester United.
Okay. And Sacajawea?
I didn't have formal education. I was taught by my mother and older brothers and sisters how to play and make food.
Great. And Walt?
I didn't go to school till I was 7 years old and dropped out in 9th grade.
Okay. Great. Had other things to do?
No.
No. Well, you still were successful, right? Johnny?
I went to a school in Longmeadow that I attended for a few years.
Okay. And Queen Elizabeth?
I had many prestigious scholars come to my father's palace to teach me.
Okay. What were some things that you learned?
I learned how to speak 9 different languages.
Well, let's move on to some challenges that you needed to overcome as you got older. Walt?
I needed to make more cartoon movies
Okay. Why?
because I was running out of ideas and
Okay. Sacajawea?
probably caring for a baby on a long journey and getting sick a couple of times.
Okay. What was your long journey?
Going from the Bitterroot Mountains to the Pacific Ocean and back.
David?
When I was little, I wanted to be on the Ridgeway team, but they said I was too little.
Queen Elizabeth?
When I was in 1554, when I was about 21, my father called me illegitimate after he killed my mother.
Okay! That's a challenge, definitely. I agree with that. Johnny?
I think that dad is a but not only that. There were rules for claiming land. First you had to pay for it, then you had to build a cabin. You had to raise crop there. The laws were confusing. So I borrowed people's land and they would pay me for planting apple orchards on their land.
Okay, great. So, beside those challenges, you became very successful in your lives. Share with our audience some of your accomplishments. Sacajawea?
Probably what I said before, going from the Bitterroot Mountains to the Pacific Ocean and back.
And did you do that by yourself?
No, I was with my baby, my husband, and Lewis and Clark.
Okay. And Walt?
My accomplishments were making Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, Dumbo, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the best accomplishment was making Disneyland.
David?
One of my accomplishments was being the youngest paid player of the year.
Okay. And Queen Elizabeth?
In 1558, I became queen, even though my father told me to do that.
Okay. And Johnny?
I was a peacemaker. I calmed trouble between settlers and Native Americans. I was a religious person, and I preached pioneers.
All right. And finally, what do you think you should be best remembered for? Walt?
I think I'm best remembered for making movies and making Disneyland.
And David?
I think I'm best remembered for playing soccer.
Sacajawea?
Leading Lewis and Clark through my people's land.
And Queen Elizabeth?
I changed the Church of England from Catholic to Protestant.
Okay. And John?
I was best remembered for being an apple lover and earned my nickname by planting thousands of apple seeds around.
And finally, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with the audience? Walt?
When I was a little kid, I was performing Peter Pan, and my brother was holding a rope behind the curtain, and so it looked like I was flying, but the rope broke and I fell, and my mom died by poison gas, and my dad died by old age.
Sacajawea, you want to share something else?
I was born at the, not born, I got married at the age of 16, and no one exactly knows what happened.
Okay. As you got older, you?
Yeah.
Okay. And David?
I'm married and have 3 sons.
Okay. Queen Elizabeth, anything else you'd like to share with us?
No.
Not really?
Well,
You sure there's nothing else interesting about you? I'm sure there is.
married, so
Okay.
that although a lot of people wanted to marry me.
Okay. Johnny?
I was a vegetarian, and I had a knack of knowing where people would settle, and I would settle in that area, and I was an eccentric storyteller.
An eccentric storyteller. Okay. Well, thank you. Please help me give him a round of applause.